Coach, just tell us about your off-season and then introduce the players you brought, maybe what you're looking forward to for the season.
Okay. We had a great summer down in Broadwater County. It's a little bit different for us down there, trying to get all of our kids together at the same time to do some team camps and whatnot. Having egg kids that are, out in haying season and all that. So we really push these guys to get out and go to some college camps, go get coached by other coaches, spend some time with these other players that you guys have been interviewing in this room. Just go out and see the world outside of Townsend. See a different level of football, different level of players, and kind of find out, where they fit in. Some of them are, near the top, in the middle, and they're never at the bottom. So it gives them a good idea of what's out there and what they need to do to get where they want to be. And we had a lot of players go out and attend a lot of camps this year. So that was a great summer for us. And then weight room's been fantastic. These three guys sitting here with me today, they're consistent. They show up every day. It's going to pay off, and they're going to see it during the season. They're going to see that reward come back to them. Today with us on the end, these are all three seniors. This is Marek Easter, running back, linebacker. Trace Giomi plays offensive line, defensive line. And then Colt Barnard is a wide receiver, kind of a hybrid outside linebacker safety for us.
You dropped your son off at Montana Western. Just talk about getting to coach him last year.
It's fantastic. Being able to coach my son for his 4 years of his high school career. Then took him down, dropped him off August 1st. With his roommate Deegan Matson, who played for us last year. Sent both those boys to fall camp down at Western, and they've been doing a great job. So, and Cale Sells over at Carroll, I'm only assuming he's doing a good job there too, because those guys, I used this word once already, but they're consistent. They work hard. They wanted this. They've earned that, and so they have expectations of themselves, and I have expectations, of them as a dad and a coach of that consistency, that discipline versus distraction at that next level. So
you touched on it right there, but obviously you played in the Frontier. Any advice you give to those guys about playing in the Frontier? What to expect?
Big time's where you make it. Frontier football is not a low-level football at all. I know when I was playing with all my guys, Carroll was my Michigan. The big time is where you make it. And Frontier football is tough, hard-nosed, competitive football. Some of the greatest football played in the country, in my opinion. And we're fortunate in Montana between all those levels. With the Cats and the Grizz and all that. But the Frontier teams that we do have, that NAI level of football, is fantastic football. And when levels go up, the guys get a little bigger and a little faster. But they don't work any harder than those guys at the NAI level. And there's a room full of kids in here today that. They understand what that effort is and what it takes.
Marek, obviously you had a good season run to football last year. How do you build it this year?
Well, I spent a lot of time this summer working on our footwork in addition to working in that weight room. But it comes down to going to those college camps and getting coached by those next level coaches and seeing what they do for drills and adding that to my own type of regimen and whatever.
Do you have a favorite memory from the summer going to those camps or anything?
Well, I went over to North Dakota for one of their bigger camps, and one of my favorite was when we were doing our blocking drills. I had this bigger kid that just tried to bull rush, and I got to lay him out to the side. And I think that was one of my favorite plays. I got to do it in front of some good coaches, and it was fun to do.
I had a question for Colt. Obviously, you played both ways last year, had the lead season as a defensive back, where I think you're one of the leading receivers coming back this year. Are you hoping to make a bigger impact on the offensive side of the ball, and just as a senior as well, I guess, just having a bigger impact as a leader too?
I think the biggest thing is just helping the team out wherever I can. I'm never bigger than the next person. If it's the guy behind me, if it's the freshman coming up, if it's Marek or Trace, just being consistent with everybody and doing what we have to do to win the game, be the greatest team we can. I think that's whatever I gotta do. I got a couple.
Coach, obviously your high school and college careers were outstanding. How many years have you been at Townsend now?
My first year coaching under Coach Rao was 2010.
Okay, all right. What have you taken maybe from your days as a Bruin and a Saint and brought it to Broadwater County and as the Bulldog program, in the Bulldog program?
Everything that we do. I was fortunate growing up. I consider it fortunate. I had a different head coach every year, all the way through high school, starting with Emmer, and then Tuss and Chauncey and Sampson, and then even with Coach Petrino, and then finally with Coach Van D. So I was able to experience a lot of head coaches and great head coaches, and for all of the good stuff that those guys taught me, there was as many or more things that they taught me of things I never wanted to do or things I didn't want to do a certain way. And so I try to take all of my experience with those guys, and the rest of these guys in this room, coaching-wise, because we all talk, and there's no secrets. We're not hiding stuff. Everybody's there to share some stuff. So, try to take, the best of everything and bring it back to Townsend, to these guys, and we're not afraid, and these guys are really good at it. We're fluid. We can change. We can adapt. I know Coach Lang talked about that a little bit earlier, about adapting, and every year's a new year, and we adapt to the kids that we have and the character makeup of our team, and so it's nice to draw back on all those different coaching experiences of having those different coaches, to be able to adjust to what fits this year's model of Bulldog football.
And for the players, I don't know if you know how big of a badass your coach was as a player. Did y'all know that, how good he was? I mean, the tackling machine he was at Carroll College. By the way, Coach, Daniel and I do a podcast. You made our starting 11 all-time defense.
Oh,
just to put you out there. But if I could get each of you to say so, what style of coach? Talk about Coach Horne a little bit. How does he approach the game? How does he interact with you? Can you just talk a little bit about your head coach?
He approaches the game like if he's playing with us. He's out there being active. He's learning with us on some items, but he's always there. He demonstrates the drills for us. He's not just one of those coaches that tell you what you're doing. He's going to be there. He shows you what you're doing. He's on you if you're doing the wrong things, but tends to be there to support you through all your things, and he's always there to help you get to that next level of whatever you're doing. Doesn't matter if it's football or if it's just getting better at the classroom.
Same thing.
Yeah, he's just straightforward with us. Every practice, he'll just get straight to the point. And I practice. It's off the field. It's everywhere. As a teacher.
And I'm sure tackling is a big emphasis with the guy that has all these tackling records.
Yeah, can't ask for a better coach when it comes to that. You got to take what he gives you and do exactly what he says. He knows it best. Can't argue with the best.
I had a question for all of the players here. Just last year, you guys obviously got back to the postseason. I lost, I think, in the first round. Just how does that motivate you, and what are you kind of hoping to achieve this year?
Well, I was hoping for a better result, to be honest. I like that we made it to where we did, but now that we see that we can get that far, we want to get further. We want to take it to as far as we can take it, earn where we're going to take it, and be there.
Yeah, we had a great team last year, but I think going into this year, we filled the roles that needed filled. And I think we're going to be able to take it further than the first round at least.
Last year was last year. We got a new team, new us. I think our biggest emphasis this year is just what can we do this year? Last year had its course, and I think this year is going to be a different story, hopefully.
Coach, talk about your quarterback a little bit. Is it Taven?
Tavin Anderson. Yeah, so Tavin's a junior. Tav is wildly athletic. He's worked hard. He's got some help from other coaches as far as developing as a quarterback. I'd be lying if I didn't say I called and asked for some help on that. And so he's fun to watch. He's getting better in his throwing mechanics. But the kid can run, and he's shifty, and he's hard to tackle. And so he really, kind of brings a lot of that quarterback run game to our offense, which is nice to see. And then we got some young incoming freshmen that are super athletic, and going to push Tav, to be the best quarterback that he can be. And we have I know it's not a question, but, to talk about our coaching staff a little bit, we Coach Sell has moved on. He's not coaching this year, so we moved in a new offensive coordinator in Holden Sampson, who was a 5-year center over at Montana State. And so that guy wants to run the damn ball. And so with the line that we have coming back, we got a great room of running backs with Marek and Braden Martin. and Bryce Leslie, who's just kind of a mini horse as a sophomore, and so they're gonna shoulder a lot of our offense, which will be great. And like Colt here, our receiver set down there, they're not selfish. You know what I mean? They'll block, they'll earn their right to take the top off of defense, get the ball thrown to them. They'll earn that by working the run game and trying to get teams to load up the box.
You said you reached out to some other coaches, quarterback-wise. Who did you reach out to?
I don't know if I should give all my secrets away, but no, I have no. My pride's not too big to call anybody. I know I've talked to Coach Broadhead. I talked to Coach Howlett a bunch. And even Coach Rao, because when Coach Rao went away, he took a lot of that offensive knowledge with him. And especially in the quarterback position, it's such a unique position. In my opinion, you can learn all of them, but having someone with experience at that quarterback position who's lived it, played it, and then goes on and coach it, what they see, the things that they can pick up, it's amazing to me. I reach out to those guys, and if I can send those guys their way to some camps, some summer camps at the college level, and have them get that help and then bring that information back, because I'm not a quarterback. I'm not a quarterback guy.
Colt, I think you guys graduated your top 5 tacklers off of the defense last year. I think you led the team in interceptions last year, though. Just talk about that group and kind of your expectations for the defense this year.
I think the expectation has been the same since I've been here. I mean, we pride ourselves on our defense, tackling, getting the ball back for our offense. I think, the best way to win is to have a good defense. So I think the expectation's there. Everyone knows it. And it's just nitty-gritty football from there. And that's where our defense is.
Sure. Trace, I guess kind of similar question. Let's talk about the defense a little bit as you kind of see it coming together.
Yeah, so we lost a lot of good tacklers and players, but I think we have the players. We have the people that are going to be able to run downfield and make the tackle, knock some people out the way. And I think after going to some camps and learning quite a bit, we're going to be pretty good.
Sure.
For people that don't know, the 43.
So 43 is what's our county seat number, right on license plate 43. When I came in as head coach, a big thing that we wanted to do in this program, or all of us, is we wanted to keep a lot of the tradition that was there, but kind of still tweak it and make it unique to our time there at Broadwater. And so what we did is we took that county seat, that 43, and we broke it into 4 T's, and those 4 T's for us are trust, toughness, together, and Townsend. Those are our 4 T's. And then the 3 stems from, then, now, and forever. And that's for, all those players that came before these guys. It's their time now. What are they going to leave? For those guys, the forever is, what are they doing to leave this jersey in a better place when their time at Broadwater High is done? And so just trying to take a look at how we incorporated, the tradition that was there, what we wanted to do going forward. And I'm an old Capitol High kid, and Bruin born, Bruin bred. That's still in my mind. I wanted these guys to have that same pride in Broadwater High. Be proud to wear Bulldog blue and walk around with your head held high. And I think having pride in your community, your school, and the people that you share that time with, it's a huge part of sports and just high school in general. And so we're really trying to push that, just really be proud of Broadwater County, and because our community is great down there. They take care of these kids. These guys have done a great job, with some community service projects and trying to give back. We bought some shoulder pads for the middle school program this year. They started a Little Dogs program last year, where we team them up with some flag football players from 1st through 4th grade. And they go down there once a week, and we got them, little Bulldog jerseys, and they'll go sit in the classroom with them. They'll read with them. They'll go play at recess. Just kind of it's Broadwater's versions of Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Awesome. Can you talk about maybe your offensive front a little bit? I think you had an all-conference offensive lineman last year. Just talk about that O-line as you kind of see it right now. Yeah,
that O-line coming back. Obviously, Tracer's a great big part of that. Our center, Gavin Schmiel, is also coming back, and he's a big kid, and he spent a lot of his summers wrestling across the nation. So I think wrestling makes you a great football player. Teaches you how to compete on be in the arena by yourself, but also pad level and violent hands. And Gavin's really worked hard on that. Plus, he's a big, strong kid in the weight room. So we're bringing Gavin back, and then Tanner Bird, who's if you think of a Broadwater kid that's just a tough ranch kid, that's Tanner Bird. So we got those 3 coming back, and then Nikki Humphreys as well. So 4 of those guys coming back. Kale Sell, obviously, who's at Carroll now, will have to fill that tackle spot. But we got some big kids, big athletic kids that are, they're looking for their opportunity to get in there and earn that position.
You guys start practice tomorrow?
6 a.m.
Players, I guess you can respond to this however you want, but just talk about the night before the first practice, what it's like.
Just get rest and be prepared because I'm ready.
What's the excitement level like?
I'm super excited. I know we can't start out practice hitting pads, but I just want to hear that ring of telling me, dude. I just want to set it. You start at practice, and then you start at the first game, and I can't wait for the season to start. It's going to be awesome.
Is there any better way to start it than at 6 a.m.?
That's when the lifts start. But the expectation has been all summer, all winter, so nothing different.
Coach, I remember a couple of years ago that, there's a Hovland and a Vandenacre that were really good players. You guys, I see what I assume are their younger brothers on the team.
Yep.
Let's talk about those guys, kind of another generation, I guess, of Bulldogs coming through their older brothers.
Yeah, so Trenton Hovland, Trenton is Trey's younger brother. Trenton's going to be a senior this year. He had a pretty nasty foot injury over the summer, so he's he's out of surgery, out of his boot, and he's putting strength back in that. But Trenton's he's not bigger than Trey. But he's definitely he's more stocky than Trey ever was, and he likes to hit people. He likes to play on the defensive side of the ball. Trenton does, so we're excited to have him when he gets fully cleared to be back on the practice field with us. And then Heston Vandenacre is Gavin's little brother, and Heston's a freshman. And then when I was talking about those freshman quarterback coming in and pushing Tavin, Heston's that kid. He's wildly athletic like Gavin was. He's not as tall and skinny as Gav was as a freshman, so hopefully we'll keep putting some pounds on him, keep eating some double cheeseburgers and working hard in the weight room, and he'll be a 185 pounder by the time he's a junior, but he's a strong athletic freshman.
It's kind of ironic that the Vandenacre is the quarterback now.
Yeah, I mean, with his brother catching all those touchdowns for so long, and now Heston's got a chance to throw a bunch of them. But he's between Trenton and Heston, it's kind of cool to watch. All those brothers kind of go through the system, and there's so many similarities, but the differences are what really stand out of just how unique each one of them is.